This week's community response video, we're talking about stranger missions. Do you still do them or are you bored with them? What's your favorite one or what would you like to see? Howdy Cowpoke, AustinBMX here, and thanks for checking out today's video. That's right, in this week we're talking about stranger missions in our community response discussion video. You guys jumped on our community tab and put in all kinds of great comments. Let me go over our thoughts and then going over quite a lot of your guys' comments as well. Stranger missions in the game have been in since the beginning. They were the way we made almost all the money and content back in the beta days. There has been a few added over the time. We got a good little addition of Bonnie and Black Belt, and I think the Tammy Stranger mission came at the same time, somewhere around the spring update. We also got some added modes as well at that time, like the jailbreak mode was one of the ones that just was one of the newest, but we haven't got anything in quite a long time. I don't do stranger missions too much just because I've done the ones that are in the game quite a dang lot. We used to grind them out to get XP, but now there's a lot easier ways to get XP as far as collecting or doing trader full runs. You get quite a lot of XP for that. So we don't do stranger missions too much anymore, but we do have some favorites. So our favorites actually is Jailbreak, just because it's so interactive and has a lot to do. So I wish they'd add some more in the future. They might have some in the future to add. One of our favorite ones to do is of course On the Hunt as well, because it is pretty good payout. You can get those with Bonnie, and Hamish gives you On the Hunt as well. And I believe also Thomas gives you an On the Hunt over down in the bayou for some alligator as well. Now some of my least favorite are the ones that are pretty repetitive and boring. A lot of them have to do with strangers that are at the post office, you know, like Hector and Alden, like the deliver mail one. Those ones definitely are not that fun. I don't do those very much at all unless, you know, there's some kind of daily that says, hey, you gotta do some stranger mission, which there hasn't been in quite a while. They haven't been putting that stuff in for a while since all the other updates and content that we have in the game. What I'd like to see, I'm not sure if we need any more strangers. There are quite a lot in the game, but a couple more would be pretty cool. They are spread all over the map. I really would like to possibly see the legendary fisherman, Gil, down below Rhodes down there. That would be pretty cool to have a stranger mission with him. I know I talked about it a few times in a couple of our videos about him being added to the game. Not sure if they could add him as a full role or something like that, but if they didn't, even just a stranger, having him in the game and the ability to do some missions for him, like go to a certain spot and find a certain fish that he wants, or even just going and helping him as well. That'd be pretty awesome as well. And of course, possibly have a stranger up in what PD, maybe Rains Fall, or someone else in the tribe up there. It'd be really cool to have Native Americans added to the game, and a couple people have mentioned that in the comments. We'll go over those in a few minutes. It would give us something to do way up in that area of the map, as well as bring something cool from story mode back over to the game, as we're all trying to evolve our characters here in online and kind of, you know, find them a place in story mode that we can kind of build. We've all loved story mode a lot, and be able to build our character into kind of having those interactions with something to do with story definitely would be really cool. So moving away from actually adding strangers, but just maybe adding a few more different modes of stranger missions. As I mentioned, the jailbreak was a pretty new one they added recently. Well, recently compared to the entire game's longevity here and lifespan, but it has been a few months, like 6 or so. It was a spring update, I think, when they added those. Same time they added Stady Adler and Black Belt. But some of their cool modes that would be pretty awesome would maybe some kind of heists. I know everyone wants heists in the game. Adding them as a random stranger mission would be an easy way for them to go. You could do that from the boy. He gives you jailbreaks all the time. Maybe he wants you to go rob the bank in Valentine, and then you got to take the money off to a certain drop-off location. You get a portion of that money or something like that, and you have to fend off the cops, kind of like jailbreak works. Or like maybe a train heist or whatnot. You go to the boy and he wants you to go rob a certain train, and you go there and rob some trains. That'd be pretty cool. Let me know in the comments if you guys would be okay with heists being added to the game in that sort of an aspect, because that would be a way for us to be able to do them, and wouldn't be too overwhelming for the developers to get that going. So I already think they have quite a lot of that stuff already built in the game. It would be pretty easy to do. So first up, we got one of our great Stash Pack members. If you guys are interested in joining the Stash Pack, make sure to check out that join button for awesome benefits and exclusives on the channel. We got Mystic Mike here. He says Sadie Adler. That must be his favorite. It sure is. But someone that he'd like to see is Rainsfall, as we mentioned before. Maybe we could craft native clothes, or he could give you spiritual quests to collect an item for him. That'd be pretty awesome. The Native Americans would be great. That goes on with Penencio also says, I really wish they would add the Native tribe to online. And Jonathan agrees and says the Native American tribe online. So definitely that would be an awesome one that they could add. It would be way up in the Wapiti Indian Reservation. Would give us something to do way up in that area. There could be quite a lot of things you could do for them. Go help them with a hunt. As Mystic said, go do some spiritual quests. Maybe you have to go find some secret item, or maybe somebody stole some relic of theirs and you have to go get it back from the bandits in the area and help them out. So I agree with all three of these guys, man. Definitely the Native Americans in the game would be pretty awesome. I know Rockstar, they gotta be careful with what they add in there. I think they need to add them in there in a good faith way to make Native Americans a good part of the game. Definitely make them so you can't go up there and just go crazy, because that would be a dumb way to play the game. But to be able to have a pretty awesome way to help out Rainsfall, as we do quite a lot in story. I love those missions helping out Rainsfall in the story. It'd be cool to be able to do that in online. Great comments from all you guys. That would be a great one for them to add. So next up, we got Fighting Usk. He says, I think doing a moonshine run with Lenny would be awesome. That would be pretty cool. We've talked about a moonshine role. Maybe adding it to the trader and having a little side business as a trader at your camp as a moonshiner, but being able to do something to do with Lenny and doing a moonshine run, maybe delivering certain items from one place to another, fighting off rival moonshiners or whatnot would be pretty cool. Maybe like the Dukes of Hazzard of the 1899s, you know. He also thinks it'd be super cool to have Charles offering boxing matches, say having to fight a big NPC in a certain time frame. That'd be pretty cool. We do know that in the later story epilogue, Charles is found in Saint Denis doing boxing matches to make money. Not sure if he did too much of this before the game, but I mean, he got into it afterwards, so maybe he was doing it beforehand as well. But going over there, maybe if you went over there with your posse, you could pick which posse member you want to take on the fight, and if your posse member won, you guys would get some money. If he didn't win, maybe you get a little bit of payout. That'd definitely be pretty cool, great, awesome, and I know it matches your name, Fighting Usk, as well. So that'd be pretty cool to have some kind of fight club underground ring in the game. Carlos states that he liked the escort, the caravan. He would like longer routes, more enemies here and there, better payout, but always on defensive mode because PvP is not his thing. Definitely, it's hard to do stranger missions because most of them you can have rival players come and steal those from you. So that's one reason if we ever did get, and we might in the future, we've seen some leaks of private lobbies. Some of these missions and stuff might not be available because they don't want them to be too easy, right? But definitely more players that take that over for you. They are kind of easy, as you can see in the background here. This is actually what we're kind of doing. It's kind of like a caravan. We're actually going to steal the wagon. There was a couple people here that we have to get it from, and then we run into a few on the way to the destination, but it's not too difficult, although its difficulty does wield what the payout is. I think at the end of this we get about 13 bucks for our small efforts there. But definitely some longer routes will be pretty cool. Fighting off whole waves of NPCs, maybe make twice as much money or so. Great comment, Carlos. Scott has a couple of good ideas here as well. Saving Jamie from the cult. Maybe to do that a little bit, you know, Jamie, he's not really in the cult though in the time frame of this, so that might be kind of hard, but definitely maybe there's something to do with the crazy turtle cult would be pretty awesome. But he'd like to see a gold mine or something the other do with a mining job. The mines are already there. The mines are already there. There's tons of mines over in the Annesburg area. Maybe something to do with those guys. They might adding more strangers to have kind of like the same stranger missions. I'm not sure what we do with mining. Maybe go talk to the miner and he wants you to go find a certain ore or a certain mineral in a certain area, more of like a collecting type stranger mission. That might work out there. But let me know, Scott, down in the comments more thoughts on that and what you think might work for that, because it definitely sounds like a great idea. So Justice has some pretty good ideas. He says put the trapper in the game, legendary animals as well, and then you are in camp, materials get processed twice as fast. There's a few different things in this comment here. Put the trapper in the game. Maybe if we don't have the trapper just in the game, maybe he can be like a stranger mission. Like maybe the trapper way out past Strawberry at that location. I mean, his camp technically already is there. Maybe that could be a stranger mission for you. You can go over there. You can get a job from him to go hunt a legendary animal in a certain location, kind of like an on the hunt, but bring that back to them. And maybe if you rack up a few of these type of missions, you can have enough materials to actually make something pretty cool in the game. That'd be pretty great. So it kind of adds both those aspects in one full sweep there. He also says, this is a great idea too, so I wanted to add this. When you're in camp, materials get processed twice as fast. So when you're in your camp, maybe you're helping Crips make those instead of just standing around, and they get done a lot quicker. That definitely be awesome. I really wish there's some way we can get materials to be made quicker, hire somebody else, or if you're in camp, you can elect to sit there for a while and goods get made at like maybe a minute a good instead of 2 minutes a good. Great suggestion, Justice. Maybe you should drop that in the feedback over to Rockstar. Maybe they'll pick that up and work on that. Then we have our last comment here for Jorge. It's a pretty long one, but has some great ideas. Jorge says, I usually do Sadie or Bonnie when I want to do one of those missions, and I don't really mind the mission they give because it usually AFK for a bit, the time runs out and get a little more XP. Bonnie, Sadie are usually pretty good. Sadie also does on the hunt as well. I would like to see the horse fence in online, so at least the horses in the world you can use. Maybe do a mission, tame a few of them, deliver one to an X amount of times. So that'd be awesome. Maybe the horse fence could be added as an actual stranger mission, and he gives you the ability to go tame a couple horses and get those in there. And also, like we've mentioned before, some kind of place or space where we could put for sale to other players, maybe a saddle that you built and you don't use, or weapons, but the player can pay for them and get them a little cheaper. I'm not sure if to do that because that way they'll have players in the game trying to make money off people, but definitely something where you could discard items. Maybe it's even into your camp, into your posse, and those posse members could pick those up. We have been playing a lot of Death Stranding in the game. If you guys haven't watched that, check out the channel for that. But Death Stranding allows you to do that on an online community. Drop things in a shared locker that you don't want anymore. Other players can actually have access to those and go pick them up. That'd definitely be a lot of awesome ideas to be able to help out your posse, help out our players in the game, make it more of a community in this world of Red Dead Online. Now, Cowpoke, everybody had some pretty amazing ideas, and I appreciate all the feedback on there. You guys are an amazing community. Always get involved in these posts. So let's move on to next week's comments. So next week's question, wait for on the channel. We're gonna have a video out on our horse we're riding here, El Cheapo, and how great he is in his own way. But I want to know, what's your favorite horse in the game, why, and which horse is your least favorite and why? Just so we can get a discussion going, get some information out there for other players. So definitely watch for that post in the community tab, get your comments in there, and let us know your thoughts. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. If you're new around here, consider subscribing to the channel. Right down there, just hit that little button. For more Red Dead Online content, including tips and tricks, news updates, gameplay, and just good old-fashioned fun. Hope to see you on the prairie sometime, but until then, see you later.